Good morning and welcome to the Successful Salon Team Training Room, and it is certainly a team training room session today. I have got the most amazing news for you all, and I'm not going to tell you because it's like, that's not my news to tell, but I have with me the amazing Alfie Pfrffer. Is that how you say your surname? Pfrffer?
Yeah, Pfrffer. There you go.
Pfrffer. Dyslexic Jen. Pfrffer. Pfrffer with me today. You saw him a few months back now where he was giving some real amazing education in terms of colour, and he is back with the launch of something phenomenal. So before we go into that, for those guys that are online right now, good morning Dolly, for those guys that are on right now that haven't seen you, don't know who you are, can you just give us a little bit of background into who is Alfie?
Oh yeah, well, hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you Jennifer for having me back again. I really love that. So what am I about? So I'm a colour focused educator and in-salon colour expert, and I've primarily been working in as a salon stylist and colorist for let's say about 15 years, and I've been hugely inspired by education throughout my career, and in the past 5 years I've really pushed myself to help others become the expert as well. Something that I'm always really inspired by is a phrase that what I like to do is pass on the role of the expert to my students so they become the expert too, so there's no hierarchy going on. Something that I'm really passionate about is writing, designing and delivering education. So I've recently become self-employed, and I'm really keen to spread the word and to spread my unique mix of colour focused education to the masses. So thank you so much Jennifer for having me here so that I can
you're so welcome. You guys are in for a treat. Morning Mandy, morning Lewis, I hope you're all well, and I hope you don't look, good morning Jackie, I hope you don't look like me. We were just saying the bags under these eyes right now from all these phone calls that we're making, just crackers. But let's get back to Alfie and his geniusness. So Alfie is recognised as a lot in our industry actually that the education, the demand for education right now is huge, like so huge. We all want to be bigger and better at what we do, and actually I don't know how you feel about this Alfie, but I believe that stylists are starting to take some responsibility for getting the education and training, whereas before it was salon owners that did that, wasn't it? And now stylists are starting to seek out, find the education, come to the salon owner, get involved. And what you do is just deliver it so well. So tell the nation, what are you doing?
Okay, so if you do, well, I've just introduced myself. I should also introduce my partner in crime within this. My partner in life and also my partner in career is James Davies, who is a technical consultant and sales consultant for Salon Success. And we've been together for about 8 years now. And throughout our relationship, we've always been really inspired with education. And as our roles kind of mix really well together, we've got a really great relationship when it comes to our taste level and also our kind of vision for how we would love to deliver education. So it's something that we as a couple have been working on for a long time, but it really is lockdown that has inspired this whole thing to kind of get the wheels in motion. As like what you just said, the whole education scenario has completely been flipped on its head, you know. So we were always really used to seeing education in our salons and getting somebody to come to us and work with us on tuition heads or on models, and because we do learn really well from doing that. But our eyes have been really opened to the benefits of online education, and like you say, a lot of stylists now really do see the value in online education. You know, it's super convenient, it's right at your fingertips whenever you choose to watch it, and you know, sometimes it kind of takes away the fear of learning in public because you can learn in your own living room without the pressure of having to perform in front of somebody. So it's actually quite a comforting way to learn for a lot of hairdressers. So we've been working on something called How to Colour. Now, How to Colour is starting out as an Instagram platform. How to Colour is what we're calling a social learning learning platform for people to be inspired, to grow, and to learn in all of the different fields of colour. So ultimately, what we're looking to do is provide one-on-one coaching in the form of us being available to help and guide and advise you through those difficult situations and scenarios within the salon. We're providing ongoing theory. So we're starting right at the beginning of our colour kind of journey. Both James and I are really well experienced in and not only MVQ teaching, but also delivering colour-focused educational content in the form of an academy or in-salon education. So we're really being inspired by those manuals that we all learnt hairdressing from, but we're making it way more fun. We're using each chapter and really just kind of pulling apart each chapter and giving you those little tidbits of information that get you inspired and jog the memory of why you started hairdressing and kind of remind you of those little bits of information that you need to know. So as we work through the theory of the process of hair colour education, we're going to combine that with tutorials as well as product reviews and equipment reviews that will help elaborate on each chapter and enable you to get a really good grasp of the colour journey that you'll be going on. So if you were to go directly onto our page on Instagram now, How to Colour, is that what you're doing, Jen?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Screen.
So yeah, if you were to go, here we go. Thank you. There we go. So we've been working on this properly now we've been working on the idea and the planning of this, let's say, for about 3 months. But we've started to fully get our page up, ready and loading our educational content. So when you first go onto our page, what you will notice is quite a lot of hair pictures, and what we really love to do with our educational content is always elaborate on it and keep it coming back to the idea of us being hairdressers and inspired by hair. So there's lots of beautiful pictures of hair colour that either we've created ourselves or we're massively inspired by from other product companies. So when you come down to the bottom, you can see the social picture here where it says that blue image, just the one above that. So each image basically describes what we're about and what we're looking to create. So when we talk about social media, obviously we've already spoken about the benefits of online education. Now, something that I personally have noticed from the very beginning is a lot of big salon brands are bringing out education that coincides with their colour theory, but a lot of the time it tends to be quite one-dimensional and quite one-sided, and is often a colour brand or a salon brand teaching you you haven't got the ability to kind of interact with them. So we wanted to create a social learning platform in which you'd be able to watch education, see education, but as well as that, fully interact with us at the same time. James and I are making ourselves fully available to be there to answer any unanswered questions that you usually might not feel confident enough to ask in person, or that you're kind of itching to know, but maybe they might come at you at a later date. So ultimately, we're creating this interactive social learning platform, enabling you to interact with us and really use our combined colour educational content in our heads.
I love it. I love it. I haven't had the privilege of working with you, Alfie, but I have worked with James. And one of the things that I want to say is that he blew me away. Like, when he works with my salon, he doesn't just deliver colour education. It's not just like stand there and talk to the team and do this, 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 and this. It's like he gets in there, he works with you, he stays with you to the end. One of the things I really admired with him, he was the first educator to come into the salon that had a screen and a projector and had put together an entire presentation before he actually got his hands dirty with the team. And I was like, oh my God, he's not just turning up and doing minimum level that he's required to do. He really puts his heart and soul into it. And we work heavily with James. I mean, he is the only colour educator I have in my salon, because we are part of Salon Success. We are a full Paul Mitchell signature salon hairdressers, and James knows that inside and out. You know, he reps for them, he coaches and teaches for them, but he's just, I can just see the passion and the energy from the pair of you and that beautiful Instagram page. I'm like, oh, these two are just gonna kick ass in the colour business. And I love what you just said about answering the questions that you've got. I remember years back when I don't think I'd first started the salon, but I'd been in the salon for a while, I think, not very long. And who's the Chinesey looking guy that's really, really famous? Who's the guy? Guy Tang. He hadn't made it at that point. He was, and it was just incredible, really, when I think back to it. And almost daily, I was asking him questions on how do you do this, and what colour formula did you use for that? And I don't use because I think he was using L'Oreal or something at the time. And I'm like, well, okay, so if I don't use L'Oreal and I use this colour, what do I use? Because I don't understand colour as well as you do. And he always answered me, and I will never forget that. Like, he helped educate me. He'll never know how many lives he touched by answering that, because then I was able to go on and deliver that work. And I think it's such, you boys are just going to be touching thousands upon thousands of lives, and it's so cute. I love it. I'm so behind the pair of you. So what's next?
Well, something you just said was really interesting, because something that both and I, James, something that resonates with both of us is the kind of educators that we are, and that is super encouraging, but also fully focused on delivering the right level of education to create the expert within that colorist. So both of us are really dedicated with the formula and being focused when we deliver education, but also we recognize that hairdressers, when you teach in let's say a salon environment, you'll have multiple different kind of hairdresser personalities within that room. So it really is down to that social intelligence, and for you to, as personal educators, for us to read the situation and deliver a way of educating that will resonate with that individual. So whether or not you are, let's say, a hairdresser that's been in the game for a really long time, sometimes these types of hairdressers, you know, they've got loads of experience, and sometimes, you know, they might feel like, do I need to know more? Should I feel confident about asking for help when I should already know it? So there are certain ways of working with people that have been, you know, in the industry for a long time. That's super encouraging, and taking down any kind of barrier or hierarchy. So we're at the same level. At the same time, when you're working with somebody that's, say, got a little less experience within the industry, again, encouragement is really, really crucial. But again, that focus on creating a structured way of learning for them is really, really important. As well as that, one thing that we really, really are focused on is creating education that is completely brand anonymous. So we're not sticking to one brand in particular. In fact, both James and I have worked with, I mean, I could say hundreds of brands. James obviously works with a real good selection of brands in his job, and me as a personal stylist and educator, I've educated with 4 or 5 different colour brands myself. So something that was really, really important to us was to create a brand neutral educational page that people could go to. It could relate to a lot of hairdressers rather than one secular, you know, company driven salon group. And as well as that, we'll be concentrating on more technique rather than the products themselves, so that every hairdresser could look at it and relate to it. So for example, like you say, you've worked with Paul Mitchell, but you could certainly come to our page and watch a beautiful balayage technique that would work really well with the lightness that you use within your salon.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I think the industry have been waiting for this, for sure. And I think lockdown has just created so many opportunities for people, and you boys have been 2 people that have just grabbed those opportunities and thought, right, okay, it's selfish for me to keep this to myself. I need to share this with the hairdressing industry, and now's the opportunity to get out there and do that, because education's changed, whether we like it or not. We are not going back to the classroom anytime soon.
No.
Not happening.
I mean, I think definitely we will be looking to more online ways of learning. Eventually, hopefully, we will get back to that, you know, one-on-one in-salon education, because really interestingly, there's different learning styles. People that, for example, take in information in lots of different ways. Like I said earlier, you'll get lots of different kind of learning styles within one room. So there's generally 4 of them. The 4 learning styles that you would look at are either visual. So these people really learn well when they're watching something. The other learning styles that you would look at is auditory. So people that learn by listening. Other learning styles that you look at are reading and writing. And then the last one would be kinesthetic, which means you learn best by doing. So you could guess, but hairdressers always fall. Well, the majority of hairdressers learn best from number 1 and 4, which is a visionary, and kinesthetic, which is doing and learning. So, you know, learning from watching is great, but essentially I feel like we all really learn really well from doing.
Yes,
So there is a really important role for in-salon education, whether it be next year. It's still something that we as a partnership are working towards. James does a basis, but I myself will be delivering in-salon education throughout next year from the How to Colour brand.
Amazing. I also think what's really key here, what we don't realise, is you touched on the point about people being afraid to perhaps go on courses because maybe they're not as good as other stylists, and they're thinking, well, I'm not very good and I need to get better, so I need the education, but I don't want to put myself through standing there with all these amazing stylists in front of me, and I just feel like, So now they can at home upgrade their levels, work on it in the salon, and then be very, very open to coming into, when we're out of this and we're back in classrooms, coming into that. And I think at that point, the demand for one-to-one education will go through the roof, because you'll have people not scared of doing it, but also we haven't had it for so long. So they'll want it. So I think it's just, we're in a very strange time.
Yeah, I think we are actually moving into the ultimate test for colorists. So we're going into a new era of our clients, whether it only be for 6 weeks. We're going to be working with quite hard colours. We're going straight into a column which, yes, we might be able to spread those clients out a little bit more, or they might take a bit longer to do, but they're going to be way more complicated. And we're going to have, you know, a lot of long regrowth applications, a lot of blondes that want to go back to that. Well, there we go. A lot of blondes that have been having regular highlights every, you know, 6 weeks, and now their roots are down to here. They're going to want that same result in one go, which we know is really, really hard. So I think there are going to be a lot of moments where you run out to the back room and have an element of panic. So that's right. You know, when you go out to the back room, you're like, right, think about what I'm going to do, think about what I'm going to say, and then you go back out and you present your idea. So we're kind of wanting to be there for those staff room panic moments as well. So we're there for like every level of stylist. What we would say is, for us, what would be a great idea is for you to go into the salon, and you probably already talk about this, but you look at your column for the week ahead. You start to look at each client and start to map out how you're going to do each of those clients, so that you're fully prepared for the week ahead of you, rather than going in on that day and seeing you've got 3 clients, when 2 of which are a long regrowth, 1 of which is a full head of highlights and maybe a creative toning, and you've got to think about it on the spot. So prepare yourself for the week, and during that preparation period, feel free to message us if you've got any questions on technique or certain product brands. We are more than happy to help.
You literally have like 2 geniuses on your hands now, going back into the most testing time in our entire industry life.
Like, totally, every stylist can do it, because all it is slightly adapting the way that you already currently work. It's about a little bit of change, but at the same time you will grow, and the next time you get a period where you're going to have to do a big colour change, it won't seem so big, because you will already have done all those little processes. So this era, don't see it as a negative thing. See it as a chance for you to elevate yourself as a colorist.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you'd like to say before
Well, so another, oh, there we go. So another couple of things that I wanted to run through is another couple of elements that you could expect from coming to the page is our review section. So we're looking to do reviews on the IT products of the moment and the tools that you might be looking to use within the salon. So we're already sourcing several different colour brands and getting our first reviews together. But what we would love to do is for you guys to just give us a little bit of inspiration on the kind of things you would love to see as a review. The kind of things that we're looking at are, different colour brands, ultimately products and equipment that you would use within colouring, whether it be this new type of foil or a certain pintail comb. We're going to give honest and impartial views on the colour brands and the colour tools that you would be.
You are going to be inundated with brands wanting.
I love that. We really
to endorse them.
So we've combined a lot of our following together, and we've been lucky enough to have loads of new followers over the past 3 weeks. But what we really want to create is an interactive hub for those followers, people that can talk within each other, comment and interact within the posts, so that we can become one social kind of learning network.
I love it. I'm just going to read this out because I think this is so important. Hang on, where is it? There was 2 bits.
I'm looking through now.
Oh, no. Right, social coaching. Oh my God. Walking you through a colorist journey from start to finish, your unanswered questions and guide to what, it's just gone on me, to what, where, why, and how. Exactly. And then this bit back, sorry, my phone is going bonkers. Social hair color helpline. Boom. Slide into our DMs for your one-to-one social hair color helpline for all your questions, real life scenarios, and moments of panic. You genius, you two.
We're only natural. We're only human. So do not feel bored with your moments of panic.
Absolutely. Well, guys, if you want to crush it in the next few months, when we are going to be tested highly as an industry, going back into not only the new norm, but the new route norm as well, with demands being higher than ever for us, then I suggest you go and follow How to Colour immediately. Like literally don't do anything else until you've done this. Okay, and you have 2 amazing colorists at the end of a phone or an Instagram message to help you win as we're coming through this next few weeks. So Alfie, thank you so much. I've now got 29 calls in the last 22 minutes to go and deal with. Oh, what's happening? Oh, for goodness sake. I think my phone's sending my why do they not just hang up? I'm not answering. Right, I'm going to go and get these calls done. Guys, if you're on the phone lines today, good luck. It's carnage out there. Alfie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen.
Honestly, thank you so much. And when you are up and running, doing your classes in online and stuff, I would love you to actually come and do a I'm really putting you on the spot now. I'd love you to do some kind of dialing session with us where you can do some form of education for the guys and allow them to see a little bit about what you do. Would that be okay?
That'd be brilliant. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You take care. Lots of love. Goodbye, guys. Have the most amazing day. Bye.